Artemis Fowl, along with The King of Staten Island, which I wish I have watched, which I want to watch. So much more than this. Is one of the new home early releases. One of the movies that's been released via Disney Plus at home to be watched from home that would have been released in theaters if not for the pandemic. So Artemis Fowl was a book that was fairly popular when I was a kid. I never read it, but I saw it at my school library. When I heard news of this movie being made way back when, I decided to pick up the ebook because it was pretty cheap, and it was a decent it was a decent book. I didn't finish it. I almost finished it when the actual trailer for this movie dropped, and I was probably where I am now in that book that I never finished. I saw it was not looking good, and the reactions also were not very good. Okay, I haven't finished the book, but I'm very close to finishing it. I might not ever finish it. I'm not really in a rush to finish it. I don't know what that was. Artemis Fowl. Okay, straight up, the book was decent. Let me get that out of the way. The book was decent. I'm not talking about the book. I'm just mentioning I read it for context before this movie, some of it, because I want to see how it compared, right? Because movies that are based off of books, I like to read the book first. Yeah, that was not necessary. It's a totally different thing. Okay. Let me just say it. This movie was not good. Artemis Fowl, not good. It was bad, actually. It was pretty bad. And it wasn't so bad it was good, but it was laughable sometimes. It was pretty laughable. There's a scene in the beginning of the movie where he's on this scooter thing with one wheel. It's one of those hoverboard things with one wheel in the middle. I've seen it before, and he's riding it like a ding dong. He looks like a ding dong, bro. And bless this kid, I feel so bad that he was in this movie. I have nothing bad to say about him or any of the kids in this movie, but he's on this scooter hoverboard one wheel thing, and he's skating and he's in the air and he does one of these. You can't see what I'm doing, but it's really funny, and it's an awful effect. They use an effect for that, and it's so awful. It's like he's superimposed over a blue sky. Oh my! There were parts of this movie that were just so bad, in terms of editing or the shot or an effect. I felt like I was dreaming. I felt like I fell asleep. It was crazy, some of the stuff in this movie that, what was it even that happened? What the hell? There's a scene where Josh Gad, he's a dwarf, and this is in the book, I read this. His jaw opens, he takes his jaw and he opens it like Pennywise. The murderous clown, and it's terrifying. And not only is it terrifying, it's so bad. It's such an awful effect. And that was in the book, right? They dislocate their jaws, and they eat dirt, and it goes flying out their ass. When I read that book, I'm like, this is the one thing they're not going to put in the movie, and I don't blame them. How are you going to put that in a kid's movie? They did it, dude, and it was awful, and it was terrifying. It was so, out of all the things they chose to put in the movie from the book, they chose Josh Gad dislocating his jaw and making this huge, disgusting mound of CGI flesh that is just horrifying. It was so fast. It was okay. I was bored the whole time. It was awful to sit through. Right? I would not recommend sitting through it. Okay, but at the same time, things were happening so fast. Again, I kept wondering if I'd fallen asleep and woken up. It just, things kept happening. It was nuts. And then there was a point where I paused the movie to see how much was left, and it was 30 minutes, bro. It felt like I was just 30 minutes into the movie, and there were 30 minutes left of the movie. It's crazy, dude. I don't know, the pace at which things happen is nuts. And it makes this movie go by fast, but at the same time, there's not a moment of it that's enjoyable. It's just so boring and bad. Like, who wrote this? What? No, not who wrote it. Why did you write it? Why did you write it? It's an older book that was popular when it was published. You know what? It reminds me a lot of Percy Jackson in a lot of ways. So let me say this about Artemis Fowl. If I was the age if I was a kid, right, and I heard news of this movie, I would have picked up the book and I would have read it. I would become a super fan. I did the same thing with Percy Jackson. There was news of a Percy Jackson movie, so I picked up the books. I started reading them. I became a huge fan, and I love that movie. Looking back on it, the movie wasn't good. It wasn't good. It wasn't faithful to the book. It was not very good. Right? I probably still like it just for nostalgia's sake. It wasn't as bad as this, I'm sure. My point being that if I was a kid and I heard about this movie, I would have read the book. I would have watched the movie. I would have loved the movie. Right? So I'm sure there are kids, for sure kids, who would love this movie, who would read the book and love it, and just love this movie because it's a little dumb action movie, fairyland for kids. God, it's so bad though. Like even by the standards of it being for kids, it was in the same vein of that Percy Jackson movie, right? God, it was so bad. It was really bad. It was so boring. I just want to watch King of Staten Island. I just want to watch it. Why can't I just watch that? I have to watch Artemis Fowl. I already was like so not into watching this movie. I just had to force myself to watch it. And then I had to force myself to watch the rest of it. Like to sit through this, it was it was awful. I think that's why so much of it was funny, because I could either just like suffer or laugh at it. And don't get me wrong, this is not like a laughably awful movie, which is not a compliment, because it's bad, but in just such a boring way. Why can't I just want to watch King of Staten Island? I have to wait. I can't. It's a whole thing. It's a whole complicated thing. It's been a whole complicated thing for this whole week. I just want to watch The King of Staten Island, bro. Why do I have to watch this? And The Five Bloods. I really want to watch that. I hope that's good. Really looking forward to watching that. I'm so tired. Is this even a review? I'm so tired. I don't know. It's 9. It's 9. It's almost 10. But God, this movie was. Well, they were planning a franchise with it. You could tell. Not happening, bro. Let me tell you that. Not happening. That's not happening. Okay, review it, right? 1 star out of 5. I find it hard to give any movie half a star, because there are decent things or things that are like done competently in every movie, I believe. So yeah, but 1 star for me is about as bad as it can get. It would thank God Disney released it on Disney Plus, because with or without coronavirus going on, would have been so embarrassing. I don't even want to talk about it. The only reason I watched that movie was to talk about it, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I don't know what I said. I forgot what I said. I hope it was enough for you. Show it to your kids. Why not? It's on Disney Plus. You all have it, so it's free. Just turn it on if you want to. Jeez.